Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the December issue. It's like this is a book. Welcome to the December episode of the Lit Gals. Issue, episode, it all means the same thing.
We're here vacation yet? Are we?
Tell me about it. So welcome to the Lit Gals. Hi, I'm Martie Hoofer, who apparently needs a little bit of caffeine this afternoon to get the words out right. I am the digital content manager for Keep Indiana Learning and one of the Lit Gals. Anna, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anna Cook, and I am a literacy specialist, just traveling all over Indiana and other states, and just working with teachers in schools and just loving every minute of it.
Love it. So here we are in December, a month that is oh so very busy with never a lack of things to do, I find. So Anna, let's talk a little bit about that, about family traditions and exploring culture and all of those good things.
Yes. You know, my daughter now has 3 boys, ages 7.5, all the way to 4 months.
Okay.
And it was really interesting because, of course, the toy room is quite overloaded and extensive. And she really said something last year that resonated with me. And so I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah.
And that was, Mom, she said, I want us to create more memories than things.
Yeah.
And so we went to a little holiday special just a couple of weeks ago, and it was really interesting. My daughter is not very musically inclined, but when we started to sing and talk about holiday traditions, she was right there.
Yeah.
And we were all singing along, and it was just really, really wonderful. And it came back to, she's got memories, and those memories stay with her, as do songs and traditions. And so I kind of just wanted to talk about a couple of things that are going on, around Indianapolis, at least area. One is at the Arts for Lawrence's Theater. And it's at the Fort. It's on Otis Avenue. And this coming Friday, they're going to have a lovely sing-along time. And I'm sure it'll include refreshments or, something that the kids can take home as well. But it's just going to be a fabulous time. And it starts at, I do believe, 6.
Okay.
But really look that up, because once again, it's just those things that don't cost any money. But I know that the kids would really remember that.
Well, and if you think about it, it doesn't matter where you are. And I sort of say in the state, I'll extend that to in the country. There are holiday things that go on in high schools.
Yes.
And community theaters. You can go out to Facebook and go to events, and I'm sure just type in any date and find something. And even, Anna, even if it's not a thing you go to, I know of a couple families who put their kiddos in their pajamas and they take a thermos of hot chocolate, which always scared me a little. I was never one of these people. But they put the kiddos in the car.
Teacher in us.
I know. They put the kiddos in the car and just drive around and look at Christmas lights.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
What a simple thing to do. And it just, it gets so dark so early. So you don't even have to stay up past your bedtime to go make a memory. And memories, I think we often think have to be big, elaborate, go see the Nutcracker kind of things, but they really don't have to be.
No, they don't. They don't. Yeah. And, another one that I was thinking about, talking about memories, I realized that Carmel has their Winterfest and everything. Zionsville has started one as well. It is free, and they have an ice skating rink, and they have food trucks and a maker's market. And so little things like that. The kids remember that.
Absolutely. When my kiddos were younger, we always went downtown Indianapolis to see the world's largest Christmas tree. We just put lights on the monument and call it a tree, but that's okay. But we never paid to go to the symphony. But for the people, the symphony always brought in reindeer to stand outside the symphony.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it's, we didn't pay to go to the symphony, but they didn't tell my kids they couldn't pet the reindeer because the reindeer was just outside. So it's, just maybe getting out of your normal routine just a little bit and searching out those things to build those memories, which, okay, let's tie it back to our Lit Gals show. I didn't think of this until just now, Anna. I have a basket of holiday books that I get out every December. And I guarantee you, my kids who are 25 and 22 have special books in there that they remember us reading year after year because, the 12 Days of Christmas, that was not a book I enjoyed, but my husband did.
Yeah.
That was one that was read every year. And The Cat Who Climbed the Christmas Tree, that's in there. And so just even reading books are very cheap, but what a great memory those.
Yes. I still have all of my daughters. They're sitting on the coffee table now. I bring them out. And one of them is the Cowgirl Christmas. So just little things like that. And she still talks about it. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Books can absolutely be part of these holiday memories.
So talking about books, I'm going to go ahead and segue on to traditions and trying to continue that. And, us loving literacy. We in our family now just give a gift to to our two children. Okay, whether it be a great niece, a great nephew, we give gifts to the children now and forego the adult thing. So I have started a tradition, and so whether it be a toy or a piece of clothing or whatever the girls or guys want. But I also include a book. And at first they were kind of caught off guard, like, oh God, oh my gosh, what is this? But now they really look forward to it. So, and the older that they get, the more, I have to kind of go out and start searching.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what I did this year. I literally Googled great, Christmas books or holiday books for a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, whatever that may be. And I got one for the 9-year-old that I cannot wait. It's a series. I only bought the one book, but I can't wait for her to read it. And it's called Never Let a Unicorn Meet a Reindeer. And I thought, this is going to be fun. I can't wait for her to read this. Then her sister, who is a little bit older, and I thought, it's kind of that age, 5th and 6th grade, where, it's either or. Either they really love to read or they're like, oh, please don't. I got her a Nancy Drew Mysteries, but it's set like in the winter time.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
And I thought, this will be so interesting. I think that she'll like that.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, after a week or so of eating and opening gifts, they do sit and look at you and go, what do we do now?
Yes.
So, so
I love that.
I just Googled though, and I thought that was,
Yeah. So the books I picked to talk about today actually fit well with that. Okay, week 1 and that excitement is over. What are we going to do now? So that's kind of the thinking I was at when I picked these books. This one, From the Desk of Zoe Washington by Janae Marks. This was a class read aloud a couple years ago in my 7th grade class. So this would definitely fit that 6th grade to probably like freshman. year kind of time frame. Zoe is the main character, and Zoe lives with mom and stepdad. And then Zoe finds out very early in the book that her dad is in prison. And one, that rocks her world. One. Two, Zoe decides to take matters into her own hands, and she starts writing to her dad. And so she makes her own stationery from the desk of Zoe Washington. And then so you go on this journey with Zoe. And what I was thinking about, like, what do I do now, holiday break? The importance of writing thank you notes and writing to family members. And I still get cards from my grandma, and I love those cards. And I mail cards to my grandma because as she's gotten older, it's hard for her to talk on the phone, but she can read a letter if I write big enough. And so that's what I do. So the idea of the importance of writing, not everything is going to be an electronic.
Right. Oh, and you know, speaking of which, now that you're saying that, I keep now those that are handwritten to me, whether it be a thank you or whatever, I keep them. I just thought about that.
Yeah, because they hit different.
Yeah.
They hit so different.
Yeah.
So that's my thinking there. Another one, this one ties right in with the holidays, A Place at the Table by Sadia Faruqi. I believe I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Sadia Faruqi and Laura Chauvin. These two middle school girls meet at a cooking club. I believe they're sixth graders. They meet at a cooking club at school, and they could not be more different, these two girls. But they're in this cooking club. They're going to be spending time together. And so they start getting to know each other by sharing their family's recipes. And you know, you don't think of, or I guess I hadn't thought about that when we make food for someone else, especially when it's a family tradition recipe, you're really sharing that piece of your heart and the piece of your culture. And so this is just such a beautiful story of friendship and getting to know others and sharing your culture. And what a great time to do that during the holidays, of making, you know, Aunt Sadie's, I don't know, cookies.
Yeah.
And then, you know, taking them to a neighbor, but not just taking them, but taking the recipe and truly sharing a piece of yourself. And so that's why I brought that book. And
I love that. I can't believe this. So I was listening or, you know, watching Ina Garten.
Oh, yeah.
And she was talking about, you know, holiday time, etc. And she said exactly that when you make anything, you are sharing of yourself and how important that is, especially now.
Yeah.
That's so neat. And it reminds me also of a middle school book, Salsa Stories.
Yes.
Remember that? Of a Hispanic family, and they share, and the recipes are actually in the back.
I love books that have recipes in the back. Now I'm gonna, Anna, this one has recipes in the back. This one is for a type of tea. And then there's a recipe for Earl Grey ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
Fun. And then it says for additional recipes, please visit, and gives you 2 websites of the author. So it's not just these 2 recipes, there's more online, which is just beautiful.
And wouldn't that be wonderful, especially for, you know, like you said, middle school and girls and, you know, or guys that I just think that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing those.
Love that story. And last one, I'll be real quick about it. This book, this is just a little picture book. I Am Pay, and it's written by Brad Metzler, maybe is how you say that. So I Am Pay is an architect with a Hoosier connection. He designed the Eskenazi Art Museum at the IU campus in Bloomington. He designed the public library in Columbus, Indiana. He also designed the glass entryway. That's what it is,
Mhm.
at the Louvre in Paris. But so, it's great if you can go to Bloomington or Columbus, if you're in the central Indiana area, great. But even if you can't, go see buildings by I.M. Pei, I was just thinking about going and looking at architecture in your small town or in your big city or wherever you are. What a neat thing to do, that buildings don't just happen. They are intentionally designed by someone.
Mhm.
And, even if you don't dig into who designed it, just looking at, oh, look, this building is designed this way, just like this one across the block is. And just talking about similarities and differences. And architecture is everywhere.
Mhm.
And it's
Mhm.
absolutely fascinating. So if you happen to be in the central Indiana area,
I
you've got
love
a
that.
connection. But if
I
not, just go find some architecture.
Yes, yes. As nerdy as it may seem, I went on the architectural tour. Yes, in Columbus. It was so fascinating.
Yeah.
Very, very fascinating. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, if you're at
Mhm.
all near Columbus, Indiana, that is world-class architecture
Mhm.
right
World
here in
renowned.
South Central Indiana. Yeah, it just doesn't get much better
Yeah.
than the architecture in Columbus, which what a neat little hidden gem we have here in South Central Indiana. I have a hard time calling it Central Indiana growing up in extreme Southern Indiana, but
I
in the
understand.
Columbus area.
So, can I tell you about what I'm going to read over the holiday?
Yes, I can't wait. What are you reading?
So, I read the Atomic Habits, talking about doing away with goals and then primarily setting up small steps for life change. And now I'm going to read, after the holiday, Manifest: 7 Ways to Live Your Best Life.
Ooh. Ooh. Which that ties nicely in with our theme for next month. So I'm glad you're going to start it before we chat again, so you can kind of tell us. So what's the title again?
Manifest: 7 Ways to Live Your Best Life.
Ooh, sounds like a perfect book to start the year.
Yes, I thought so too. And a friend of mine highly suggested. So I thought, okay, that's what we're going to read.
Perfect. I don't know what I'm reading next. I have a very large to read pile, as always.
I know you do.
But I always have a to read pile. But what are you reading or thinking about right now? So I know you're waiting on Manifest. What are you doing right now?
In the interim, no, I'm just kidding. So I have been working with a lot of schools, and we've been really working on small group or guided reading, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And it really, I've been reading a lot of leveled books and a lot of books for strategies, etc. And it really resonated with me about leveling and how complex that can be. And so that was one thing that just resonated. Like I said, we need to really read the book.
Yeah.
We can't just say, oh, it says that it's a level, whatever, we'll pick it. And the same with Googling. Oh, they say it's not good for a 9-year-old. I'll pick it, And so, I've been reading a lot of children's books right now.
Well, which the whole the science behind leveling is so, it's more art than science, in my opinion. Yes, there's a formula, but depending on what your formula is, you're going to get very different answers for the very same book. So yes, I'm with you, Anna. Man, you got to read the book and know the kid.
You've got to.
I can't just trust what the spine says. I have to look at, because we're each so different. I always cringe a little bit when someone asks me to give them a book recommendation to give as a gift. And I'm like, without knowing the person,
right.
That's hard. And honestly, so what I'm reading right now is a young adult book called Black Was the Ink by Michelle Coles. And it's phenomenal. And I read a lot of young adult lit.
I know you do.
Because I love it.
Right.
But I think too often adults think they can't read young adult lit, or they can't read middle grade lit. And I have, so much. There's one I didn't even talk about that's on my desk. I have, you need to not limit yourself. If it looks interesting, go for it. Yeah. Yeah. There is no right or wrong. I always told my students, I don't care what you read. I care that you read. And so I think that's true for adults as well.
And Martie, I want to thank you very much as a teacher to a teacher. I didn't know you then, but I know that you were such a wonderful role model because you shared with the students what you were reading, and your reading list is so diverse.
Yeah.
And you were really a fabulous role model for your students. And I want to thank you.
Well, thank you. And I think that's important to read outside of our comfort zone. I was talking to a friend last night about joining a book club that she's in, and she was telling me about some of the titles they're going to do like early, next semester. I guess it'll run like January to May. And I was like, ooh, she gave me 3 titles and I've not read any of them. And I looked them all up and I'm like, they're going to be stretch reads for me, way outside of my comfort zone. But I'm like, you know what? That's good for me.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with reading what you love. Nothing wrong with that. But it's kind of like I always tell students, you can't just live on French fries. As much as you love French fries, we can't live on French fries.
Right.
So I have to do something. Even though I read widely, I still need to be stretched. And that's important as a reader.
That is fabulous.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, thank you, Anna. Our time always goes so fast. But something we need to tell our viewers is that next month we will be changing our Wednesdays. We're moving to the 3rd Wednesday, right, Anna? Okay. So we will come to you live on the 3rd Wednesday of each month instead of the 2nd, but still the same time, still the same channel, just a week later in the month. So Anna, that gives you longer to read Manifest.
That's right.
Yes.
I will be able to really tell you. And then also we've got one more month and then our friend comes back, right?
Yes,
April.
Absolutely. April is hopefully back in February. So we will see her then.
Yeah.
All right. Anna, I hope you have a great holiday. Viewers, I hope you have a great holiday.
You do too.
We would love to hear what you're reading. Feel free to tweet us, use the hashtag #TheLitGals, and we would love to know what's on your reading list. So
because we learn from all of you.
Yes, absolutely. Well, have a great holiday season, and we will see you in January.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.